Hey guys, welcome to another great episode of the Anime Breakdown Show. I am your host with the most, your boy vxKingPinxv, coming at you guys with another great Naruto Manga breakdown. This is going to be a chapter 619, A Clan Possessed by Evil. And this is going to be literally the history of the Uchiha clan and how they have those special shotgun guns. And what kind of initially happens first, we all know that they enter the scene with being able to see the all the first four Hokages all standing before Madara and not Madara, Orochimaru, Itachi, Zetsu, all of the people who brought them there, and we get to learn just a little bit about the first and second Hokage. One of the things being they're all concerned of the stability of the village, knowing that there was fourth Hokage that a predecessor that went after them made them feel good. So there must be stability in the village. But then, Manito or Minato, whatever you want to call him, had to say, no, unfortunately, I died. The third had to take its place. And then they're like, well, who's the fifth Hokage now? And then you found out Lady Tsunade was. And the first was like, oh, God, her. And he spoiled her as a child, just like any good grandfather would. And she also picked up his gambling debt. So what that means personality-wise, let's forget him as a great um, shinobi, as a grandfather and a regular person, person who loved his village, loved his family. He was a gambler. He was obsessed with making deals and things of that nature. And he's pretty much, I think, along the same lines of personality-wise of Lady Tsunade. Strong passion for the village, had the fire and the will of fire. Um, just a great all-around guy and extremely powerful, but he had his own personal faults, and gambling was one of them. And he was just surprised to see his his granddaughter become the fifth Hokage. So that was kind of surprising to him. And then he had a little flashback memory of her devilish looks and her evil little ways. And then it kind of just gets to a serious point where they start trying to figure out why they're there. Orochimaru's kind of explaining things, saying, I bring Sasuke before you to bequeath these questions that he has. And they kind of you have the Saratobi sensei say something, I thought I got rid of your arms, this, that, and the other. And Orochimaru lets him know this is not an attack. This is here. I'm here strictly for information. Maybe he might use them later, but at this point, he keeps their personalities intact so Sasuke can get what he needs out of them. So Sasuke introduces himself. He's like, I'm Sasuke Uchiha. There's something I want to ask you. So he has this I want to be a badass look about him. I don't know, just trying to figure out what is the truth about his clan. Now, the first Hokage seemed that he didn't want he was against this, but you also have his brother. I don't know how to say Tubarama, or whatever, the second Hokage, who's willing to, obviously he's willing to speak more about the Uchiha and how they came to be. Um, you get to learn about Itachi, how he ended up doing what he did from a young age. From 7, he had strong convictions about becoming and not becoming a Uchiha, but becoming a protector of the village. And he put his life on the line. He always considered the mission first, on the basis of the village, and that's why he was chosen to do what he did. Now, the second Hokage always felt that the Uchiha clans would have a coup d'état. They would betray the village, and one of the major reasons was explained to Sasuke that they were put in the position of becoming the village police was so they can have a sense of power, have a sense of control. And obviously, the first and second Hokage, they had a lot of disagreements with that. But even when the second Hokage became the Hokage, he didn't disrespect his brother's wishes, and try to take them out of their role. He kept it exactly the way it was. So, hopefully there was going to be some type of stability and peace among those, among the villagers. But that really didn't work. And then he kind of starts to break down, and it kind of gets not confusing, but you kind of have to pay attention because there was a lot of talking in this one. And he said something that naturally the Uchiha clan is possessed by evil. The Uchiha clan possesses greater love than the Senju, and that is partly their downfall, because with great love also bequeaths great hatred, and with great hatred becomes craziness. I mean, obviously. So what happens is, let's say they're deeply in love with something, or deeply in love with an idea, and their abilities are based on emotion. So when they lose someone they love, or they think they're going to lose someone they love, they have these chemical imbalances that changes, and that basically they are able to have them come out within their eyes, and that's how you get the shotting guns. And then the different levels of shotting guns is the different hatreds of shotting guns. So after learning all of this information, after going through all this entire process, he starts to be like, okay, so we're just built for this. This is who we are. And he hasn't said anything crazy yet that he's going to go finish destroying the village or whatever the case may be. But he also just kind of, he's listening at this point. And the last panel was just, there's going to be more about the story. But it doesn't look like Sasuke is going to handle this well. I don't think this is going to change his mind. I think Orochimaru brought him here to further just kind of drill in him what you have to do next, and that is destroy everyone in the village, and let your hatred consume you so you can become the strongest Uchiha member ever. It's kind of like the second Hokage. He's giving him the power and the ability to do this, because I don't think the first or anyone else wanted him to explain all that he's explaining. But I guess he in his own way, he thinks maybe it's best to tell him the truth, and maybe he could change his mind. And then the second Hokage makes this big statement, says, no other clan treasured love as much as the Uchiha. That's why they sealed off that within themselves. So they sealed off love within themselves, because when they felt it on a whole nother level, like just way out there. It's kind of like stalkerish kind of love and obsession, because they just had too much within them. And he said it have this special chakra. When a Uchiha suffers from experiencing the loss of a loved one or despair, special chakra sprouts inside their brains, which affects their optic nerve and produces a change in their eye. Hence the shouting gun. So, and it reflects basically their feelings, and that's why they get the heightened senses and this, that, and the other. It's kind of like a safety mechanism. If they never experience these emotions, they have regular life throughout their entire life. People come and go, people die, natural, normal things. This power is not awakened. But if the need arises to protect them, like their inner self or whatever, these emotions arise. And they said the deeper their darkness becomes, the more powerful their eyes get, and impossible to handle them. Hence your boy Madara. Madara really loved his little brother, probably even more than Sasuke loved his brother Itachi. I mean, these people have probably the strongest emotions of any clan or any body in the village. Their emotions they run extremely deep. So, and when they're accused of something that's not true, that has something to do with a loved one, it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And so at this point, it kind of possesses them, and they lose sight of what their love really meant, and they lose control. And that pretty much sums up this entire chapter. There was a lot of talking in this chapter, so I hope I would explain it very well, where you guys can understand exactly what went on, and the mystery behind the power of the Uchiha and what they hope to accomplish. But as always, you guys leave me your thoughts below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Please share the video if you like. Put it on your Facebook page. Put it on your Google page, or whatever you're going to do. As always, do your thing below. Rate, comment, and subscribe. And peace!